The Tron network has managed to create a massive ecosystem, and the announcement around the new stablecoin on its blockchain has caused the price to shoot up. We analyze Tron's token movements, but first, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the bell button to stay up to date with crypto and blockchain technology. Let's kick off. In the weekly time frame, we can see a symmetrical triangle structure since the all-time high in April, with 2 lower highs and 2 higher lows. What does this mean? A price compression, a sign of consolidation. The price of Tron has gone up hand in hand with Bitcoin, although in the second hike, Bitcoin obtained a new ATH, and Tron did not manage to do so. It reached that zone of lows in January 2022, a zone similar to June 2021. However, pay close attention to the correction since the highest point, as we're talking about a fall of 61%. From that bottom, there's been a few developments that have boosted the price in some way. In this lower part, in January, the structure attempts to form higher highs and lows. One thing to note is that currently it does not indicate strength towards the upside or downside in this range in which the price is found between $0.05 and $0.07. With the deployed moving averages, we can see that since January, Tron has been using the 100-period moving average in the weekly time frame as a pivot zone. Each time that the average is reached, it bounces back up, creating important wicks in up to 4 instances. In November, it lost the 20 and 50-period moving averages and started leaning on the 100-period moving average. The week of April 28th, it attempted to cross the 20-period moving average toward the upside, but the next red engulfing candlestick led to an important fall. After leaning on the 100-period moving average, it headed upward and recovered until reaching $0.07. This went against Bitcoin's movements, which drew bearish candlesticks over the last 3 weeks. If we take a look at the week starting April 25th, it doesn't only surpass the 20-period moving average, but it experiences a volume input above that average and manages to touch the important resistance zone. We will have to see whether it manages to touch the 50-period moving average in the weekly time frame over the coming days. Now we're going to take a look at the daily time frame to analyze the development of the trend structure of the price in further detail and get a better understanding of the price of Tron. In this chart, we can see a clear structure with lower highs and higher lows. Here, Tron's token's price attempts to consolidate, which is quite evident. Let's not forget that this type of pattern, according to Chartism, has the same chance of breaking toward the upside or downside. Let's take a moment to look into the structural context. Here we can see the consolidation of the price with higher lows. If we zoom in a bit, we can observe the ascending highs and lows. In this structure, we can also see that movement starting on April 11th, that if we take a closer look, there's an important support where we had previously seen lows touching that same zone, the $0.058 zone. In that zone on April 11th, the price starts bouncing back, and after a few days of consolidation in what we call a micro range between $0.59 and $0.62, on April 21st, the price shoots up. A powerful bullish engulfing candlestick. While it did not reach that zone of the previous highs at the start of April, over the coming days we saw a movement correction. But once again, on May 1st, we saw a candlestick pretty much identical to that of April 21st. A bullish engulfing candlestick, which in this case coincides with a movement similar to Bitcoin. Today, it is looking to test the important resistance zone of $0.072. In this chart, we can see that the price seems to be drawing an ascending parallel channel, and with the moving averages displayed, we can see that the price is heading towards the area of the 200-period moving average in the daily time frame. One thing to note is that when we see averages that are condensed, it is a clear sign that the price is found in a lateralization phase, which fluctuations tend to take place. In other words, volatility is experienced. But let's go back to the chart to analyze those averages in further detail. In the bullish movement toward the end of March, the 20-period moving average crossed that of 50 and 100. On April 6th, the price lost it with that red, large descending candlestick, and on April 21st, it gained it back with a boost. On April 22nd, the 20-period moving average crossed the 50-period moving average on the downside. And after the jump over the last few days, the 20-period moving average once again recovered and could soon cross the 50-period moving average on the upside. At this point, it is worth stopping and asking ourselves, why are moving averages often used as support and resistance? It's quite simple. For example, the 50-period moving average in the daily time frame reveals that there is a buying or selling interest in this zone over the last 50 days. This is why it could serve as a guide to detecting relevant areas. But careful, because it's not 100% trustworthy as it is a late indicator. In fact, all indicators and chart patterns have to be analysed with precaution, which is why we suggest combining the technical analysis with the on-chain analysis and fundamental news. And pay attention to the zone being approached by the price, given there's a confluence of an important resistance range in addition to 0.61 Fibonacci's extension, the 200-period moving average and the higher part of the ascending parallel channel. If we start seeing green candlesticks closing above that zone, it could lead to a bullish movement looking for $0.83 approximately. But if it produces that sequence, the price could experience a pullback to test the $0.067 zone. And to put Tron's price into perspective in the cryptocurrency market, let's take a look at Bitcoin's price. In the weekly chart, take a look at the last few candlesticks. We're found in the 6th bearish week, very different to what has happened with Tron. Right now, Bitcoin is found in an incredibly important zone between $37,000 and $39,000, which, if lost, could lead us to $36,000. But if on the contrary, we see green candlesticks closing above $39,500, we could see an upward movement to retest the area between $40,300 and $41,200, where an important resistance zone converges with the 20-period moving average. Tron is a platform used to share free and decentralized content. The Tron network is well known because of its USDT stablecoin, a stablecoin referenced to the dollar and launched by the company Tether in collaboration with Tron. This token, the USDT, comes third in terms of market capitalization and runs on the Tron blockchain thanks to the TRC20 standard. In addition, in 2008, it acquired the well-known BitTorrent, the network that enables peer-to-peer information sharing without any intermediaries. This helped with the launch of the largest peer-to-peer exchange service in the world, BitTorrent Live, which uses BTT token for its operations. But that's not all. Tron's huge ecosystem also includes a decentralized exchange called Just Lend. In addition, it also looks to position itself in the field of content creators. The idea is to compete with centralized platforms of streaming or music services. The aim? To eliminate intermediaries so that content creators pay fewer commissions. The Tron network has an important ecosystem and is the 8th most used blockchain in the DeFi field. However, one of the concerns about this network involves the distribution of tokens. In 2017, its founder, Justin Sun, received 10 billion tokens, which is 45% of the total available in the public sale. What's something that might have influenced Tron's price boost over the last few weeks? The recent announcement around the upcoming launch of an algorithmic stablecoin on its network, which will be available from May 5th. This is already available on the Terra network and has been quite successful. Now, let's move on to the on-chain analysis, which is the data obtained on the blockchain. If we take a look at the Tron blockchain network, we can see a considerable increase in the number of transactions from the start of this year. In other words, the Tron network has been used to a great extent as it's quite useful. And since April, we've also seen an increase in the total value locked on the Tron blockchain. This implies that there's trust in the project, given the data reveals that there are more tokens deposited into the decentralized protocols than there are on the Tron network. An important factor is that the number of tokens burned surpasses those generated. What does this mean? That the system, despite being inflationary, the token is starting to become deflationary and its price could at least maintain itself in the long term and avoid devaluing. In short, the Tron network is one of the leaders in the market, and the news around the new stablecoin has caused its token to go against the flow over the last few weeks. The on-chain data also reveals a greater interest for that blockchain.